Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Tool Time, a place where you'll get the tools to get the job done. My name is Kelvin Holiday, and I'm here to be your host and to give you some amazing insights into getting your productivity and getting your time and freedom into your life. So without further ado, let's unleash this episode of Tool Time. Well, hi again here at Tool Time. We have another amazing episode for you with a lovely lady, Ann DeVere. And for those of you who haven't actually gone and listened to her heart and her passion, go back and have a listen to Hot Seat. Her desire to be able to help you to become the expert in your field, to be able to make you the expert and be able to share your information is really, really unique. And today we're going to dive deeper into exactly how she does that. So, Ann, great to have you here on the Tool Time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled, and I appreciate the invitation to come back and share more.
Mate, I cannot wait. I'm really, really tuned into this one. I'm looking forward to coming back at the end and actually asking quite a few questions.
Oh, well, let's do it. I'm excited to begin. Let's do it. Okay, so hello everyone, and I'm thrilled to be here. When Kel asked me to share how I do what I do, in other words, how do we turn our expertise into an online program? That's my passion right now, especially lately. A lot of people are in transition. There are moms who want to be home with their children more, especially COVID and other things that are going on. And there are quite a few who want to start a side hustle because they want to take care of their elderly parents, being home more and being flexible. And then there are those who are saying, I have been working in corporate and I've been doing, the work that I am good at, but my passion is sliding. So we transition more into doing something that they're more passionate about. And there are those a lot of the 50, 60 something year old now they're realizing, at least here in the US, that oh my goodness, I don't think I put away enough money for my retirement. I just realized I'm going to be living 20 years longer. And so this is what the mechanism that I've created is here to help. Wherever you are, whatever the reason for you starting a home business, starting an online program, there is a system for it. And so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I created my very first program in 2004. That's 20 years ago. I can't believe it. But yes, and since then I have been fine tuning it, making it current. And so I am excited to share with you what, the mechanism. And so I'm going to go ahead and share the screen with you. Here we go. The thing that we have to keep in mind is that anytime you're creating an online program, you need to start with the blueprint. If there is a system to training, you can always fine tune it. So you should have your own system. Take what I'm teaching you, and you're going to be able to fine tune it and make it work for you. But regardless of what you're doing, there are three things that absolutely must happen for any program for it to turn into profits. Otherwise, it's a hobby. And we have enough hobbies, don't we? And so let's get to those three components that are crucial. The very first thing is you need a brand building system, so you will stand out in a crowd. And there's so many ways to get out there right now. There's so many people can use, additional support, whether it's virtual assistant or AI. There's so many ways that we can actually get out there. How do you stand out in a crowd? It's a question that a lot of people are asking. How can you tell the difference between you and a copycat, right? So the way we do that is you want to focus on who are you? Who are you serving and why? You must answer these questions, and the answers must be unique to you. And yes, it's possible. If you haven't already watched the the segment that we did before, the why, please go watch it, because I dive into the unique influencer code. It's a combination of your work experience, your expertise, your life experiences, and your natural gifts, your divine gifts that you're born with. Without diving deep into it, let's just say that's the foundation. That's what's going to keep you fired up and in your passion and connect with people heart to heart, because you are sharing experiences with them, especially those life experiences. Now, the other thing you must do for your brand building system is you must know how to tell a story in a way that connects with people heart to heart. And TEDx style stories are there is a system to them. There is a secret to them. We love watching them, don't we? And the reason for that is every time a TEDx style story is created, information for the audience, crucial information for the audience is included in there, but also there is a mechanism within that that supports your reason why you're doing it. So it needs to be for you as well as for the audience. Yeah, there is a system for that too. And if you haven't figured out already, I am a systems person. So because if you have a system, you can always fine tune it. You can make it better. You can test it. You can change it. You can update it. And so systems are important, and you can create your own. Everything we do is a system. You know, we all have our way of doing things over and over again, and that's called a system, and you'll find yours. So the next thing you must have is an online training system. Now, training online with videos, training one-to-many is different than working with people one-on-one, because when you're working with people one-on-one, you can see their expressions, you know whether they're getting what you're teaching or not. And there is a, you know, they ask questions, you ask questions, but when you're creating an online program, you must anticipate. And so the thing that you want to keep in mind is, how can people do what you do? That's a crucial question to answer, because that's what they're paying you for. They must, at the end of the program, be able to do what it is that you do. You're the expert, you're the teacher, you're teaching them. And how you do that, again, we're going to go into systems. The system that I'm using, which I'm going to be sharing with you today, it has 4 pillars and 12 elements. Okay, so it's easy to follow because, you know, 4 pillars, 12 elements, we can manage that. You know, it's easy to contain the information when you have the container to put it in, right? So that's the online training system. The next very, very important part is a marketing and sales system. I mean, otherwise, you're just creating another hobby. Otherwise, you're going to create a great program that's not going to make any money. How will people know that you exist? How will people know they can buy it? And most importantly, make sure the right people are buying it, because it's not about making a sale. It's about making an impact and improving people's lives, attracting the right people. So the right information must be delivered so people know that it's for them, right? And so this is where we're looking at what's your know, like, and trust. You know, how will people know you? Why and how are people going to like you? This is about you sharing the information. This goes into marketing. And of course, how will they trust you? All of this is important information that will go in your marketing. And the result, how are you going to share all this? Well, the good news with that is there is a system for that as well. And I call it the 100K perpetual funnel, where it's basically the way it's designed, it's you're getting paid for marketing instead of spending money on marketing. And yes, I am going to share that with you today as well. So if you're ready, grab that pen, grab that paper, whatever you're doing, start taking notes, and let's rock it. Okay, so the 4 pillars are: get ready. The second pillar is go global. Okay, this is when, you know, you're getting out there, sharing your information, showing up on camera in different ways. I'll tell you more about it. The third is get paid. After all, that's why you're doing all that you're doing. And of course, the fourth pillar, this is why people keep coming back to you, is because you're making a difference. You're making a difference in their lives, you're making a difference in your life. This is where your community gets together. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the 12 elements right now. So I will go full screen with it so you can see much better. Okay, and feel free to take screenshots with this because there's a lot of information. Okay, and here we go. All right. The very first pillar is get ready, which we're going to be diving in deeper in just a bit. So element number one is the influencer code. And again, if you haven't watched the previous hot seat that we did, you want to do that because there's quite a lot of information in there. The second element is the program blueprint, and third is customer support. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, the first one. This pillar number two is going global. And the first thing is going live. When you go live, how are you going to be showing up on camera? How can you make the camera love you? What are the different ways you can go live? There's multi-channel broadcasting right now, many ways to get out there. And once you're out there, how are you going to get people to follow you? Well, you need to create lead magnets, the things that they want. And lead magnets are something for free, but they must be valuable. And the sixth element is fast track intensive. This is something where people can actually in one day get the information, get it down from A to Z, get everything they need to get started. So get ready, go global has these 6 elements. As you can see, there's a lot of information in there. This is all about you preparing what you need to do, creating what you need to create, and getting out there and get paid. This is what people usually are waiting for, right? To get paid, you need to have your profit multipliers. You need to know with each one of the promotions, with each one of the programs, how are you going to make money, right? You need to know your numbers. Yes, numbers can be simple. I know a lot of people don't like to look at the numbers, but you have to know your numbers. And so it's really important. 8 is co-op marketing. And this is who else can you collaborate with? Kel and I are doing a collaboration. He's got tools that my people need, and I've got tools that his people need. So it's a collaboration. This is a one-on-one collaboration, but we can collaborate with maybe 4, 5, 10, 12 people, depending on what your expertise is and what you want to do. And then, of course, there are sequential programs. That's element number 9. This is where people can join you at different levels. And I will be sharing that one with you. That's part of the 100K perpetual funnel. So you're going to get some information there. And final one is make a difference. First and foremost, make a difference in your life, the residual income. How will you make sure that you have a business that's going to keep on moving along? Okay. And when you have days off, when life happens, how are you going to show up, and how are you going to pay those bills, and how are you going to take care of the things you want or go on those vacations that you want? And element number 11 is the intentional influencer. This is how are you going to make an impact globally, the people you want to serve. How are you going to keep influencing their actions and keep them in passion, keep them inspired, because we all need some help, right? And element number 12 is your lifestyle business. And what that means is that by the time you get to the 12th element, you already have a system running. And so at that point, like, okay, what do I want my life to be? How many months a year do I want to work? How many months a year do I want to take off for family? And what about those unexpected things? So the things that are important to you, you have to be clear whether you want to live in a shack on a beach or a mansion on a mountaintop. Whatever your lifestyle is, you should be able to do that. And believe me, that has been really important, because over the years, I've had a lot of things happen, family members got sick and some passed away and time celebrations came along and my business kept running because I had already structured to the things that was important for me. And so these are the 12 elements. And if it's a little bit confusing, don't worry about it because it's going to be clarified, and I'm sure Kel will be helping you along with this as well. So now I want to deliver to you a couple of the things that I did promise. Okay, so ready? Keep those pencils going or pens or whatever you're doing. Okay, so here we go. I do want to share with you today the very first pillar. If you're going to start your business, if you're going to turn your expertise into your online program, you have to have a foundation that you can actually build on. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Okay. And so, okay, let's go full screen again. I want you to have full view of it. Now, pillar number 1 is the influencer code, the program blueprint, and customer support. So let's look at what's in each one of them. The very first thing within the influencer code is you identifying your unique influencer code. And again, this is a combination of your expertise and your life experiences and your divine gifts, the things that you just do effortlessly. When you find this place, this beautiful hub, you're inspired and people connect with you heart to heart. And when you bring in your gifts, the things you were born with, that fire in the belly keeps going. And again, you may want to go back and watch the hot seat because we did talk about this quite a bit. So the next thing that you need to be aware when you're creating your foundational piece is your divine customer. Who is it that you really want to serve? Who just being very intentional. And a lot of people I find they're like, oh, I want to help everybody. Well, you can help everybody, but the message you create needs to go out to specific people so they know that it's for them. It's just like at the beginning of this, I said, if you're somebody who wants to start a side hustle, if you're somebody who wants to maybe stay home with your children or help your elderly, parents. Remember, I just gave you some examples because this program right here is designed to support the people who are looking for that. Start something they can grow. So who is your divine customer? You must know that. And then the next, what's included in there is the TEDx style story. So the TEDx style story, if you have watched a lot of TEDx stories, like I have, many of us have, they really take us in and they do teach us. So it's really, really, really important that you teach people through you as you're sharing your story. But it's also very important for you to know how to tell the story so people are attracted to the story. Again, your passion, your experience, what was going on at the time, where were you sitting, how did you get that idea, what happened, who else was involved in creating a story. It was like, there I was sitting under the apple tree and the apple fell on my head. Well, this is the where we going to is the gravity here. But anyways, just wanted to throw in a little bit of humor there. But you do have a story when you decided to start doing what you're doing. Something came up. There is always a story. So knowing how to tell that story is crucial so people know that you are in your passion. Okay, so the next thing we definitely want to look at, let's go full screen again here. Your pillars and elements. So you too must have your 4 pillars and your 12 elements. Right now I'm sharing with you my pillar number 1, and I'm sharing with you my 9 elements, my 3 elements with the information within those first 3 elements. You too can be able to do that, right? Okay, so the program blueprint, also needs to have in it, how are you going to make money? Okay, if you're going to create a program, how are you going to make money with it? And your short-term goal, like how much money do you need and what do you need it for in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months? Because when you're first getting started, creating something for 5 years, it's like it can be overwhelming. Even 1 year can be overwhelming. So if you choose a certain amount of money that you need for a certain project or for a certain reason, whether it's for business, whether it's family, whatever it is, you want to know the reason for it. And so you're able to measure. So again, creating your program, you must be able to create the sequence of what you're going to be teaching. And you must know how you're going to make money with it. The 100K perpetual funnel, I'm going to be sharing with you in just a bit. So you can see it doesn't make a difference. Even if you're starting now, you can actually create a program. You can start making money. And of course, the short-term goal makes it easier for you to get to the results, to be able to say, yes, I can do that. So whether it's a 3-month goal or a 6-month goal, you could even have a 1-year goal, but you can actually, plan. So it just keeps you going. And a very important part, we're going to element number 3 is the customer support. This is marketing automation. And this is where Cal actually brings in his powerhouse. Tools and things, because, it's amazing the system that he has, the CRM systems and things. Actually, I want to ask him some things when he gets back on here. And payment processing. How are you going to collect money? You want to use PayPal? You want to use Stripe? You want to use what systems? It doesn't have to be complicated. And of course, an online library. Where are you going to have the information, the training videos? Where people go to get that information? It's very important. So when you have these 3 elements in place, you have your plan. Now you're ready to get out there. You're ready to get out there because you know what the program is. You know what you're teaching. You know who you are teaching. You know how much you're going to be charging. You know how much money you're going to be making. You know how you're going to be, supporting your customers, which is really, really, really important. And so there you go. Okay. So, and this is the first pillar. Now, I'm going to deliver the other component that I promised you, where you're going to say, oh my gosh, it's easier than I thought. Okay, so here we go. The next one is the 100K perpetual funnel. This is when everybody's eyes light up, right? Like, where is the money? Show me the money. Well, I am going to show you the money. So let's go full screen so you can see it. Now, the 100K perpetual funnel basically is if you do what's here, you're going to be able to make $100,000. And in this case, as you can see, it's 102,000. So let's see what those numbers are and how do they show up. So the very first thing at the very top, you must go live. You need to go out there and share your information so people know that you exist. Okay, so whether you're going live, broadcasting, you're on social media, you're on TV, wherever you are, it's basically multi-channel broadcasting, getting out there, multi-channel marketing. And so this, of course, falls under the pillar element number 3, obviously. So the next thing is you need to have your free lead magnet, free training, like something that people can sample and get results. And the focus of it is not just to get out there and get 1 million people. You just want to have 1,000 emails of a specific type of customer, your divine customer, the one you want to support. Okay, that's all. They want a specific training and they want specific results. So whatever your program is, like right now, we're talking about, creating online programs. So everything Kel and I are doing, it's about sharing information with you to create your own online program. And make no mistake, you must share your best, because even if it's free, you're asking people for the most valuable thing that they have, which is their time. okay? And you want to make a difference, so don't save your best, share whatever is needed for people to be able to get results. This is really, really important, okay? So just, and trust me, you have so much more valuable information than you think you do. Because once you start creating content, especially something that you're good at, something you're passionate about, there's always more coming because you're always learning, you're always sharing, and people ask questions. You're always creating content. So share, share, share. Get out there and do it. Okay. So far, we're getting out there sharing free information, and we're giving people free training in exchange for their email address so we can continue sharing with them. So the next, it's about doing a fast track program. Now, it must be a reasonable request, and you must over deliver. So when people don't really know you, charging them 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever people are asking for, it's really asking for a lot. You must earn their trust. So asking for something that's reasonable, $197, it's a risk people will be willing to take to see if you are a good fit. Okay? It's not always just the information you're sharing. It's a lot of times how you're sharing the information, your training style. Can they follow you? So people should be able to, try it on, if you will, right? You go into a store, you try things on to see if they fit. Well, the program must be the same way. It's not just the content, it's their ability to actually use what you're teaching. And $197 for a full day training, it's basically maybe 6 to 8 hours of training, or you can break it down into maybe 2 hours a day for 5 days, but it's basically a fast track training where they go from A to Z in a systematic way, and they're able to get enough information to get results. Again, results, 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 results. I can't say it enough. And so the other way you can support people is here. Let's go full screen again. The other way you can support people is meeting with them on a regular basis. Some people need interaction. Some people need group support. And so setting up a membership where it's just for $19 a month, where you meet with them, once a week. You share information, meet with them once a week, do maybe 30 minutes training, and do some breakout rooms so people are able to collaborate with each other. They're able to support each other. It's really hard doing this on our own. And sometimes, other people have different expertise. They have different strengths that can complement ours, and vice versa. We can help others as well. And so being able to be part of a group, supporting each other, is a great way for us to grow our business, and get more referrals, and get more leads, and get more exposure for us, as well as support others. So $19 a month, again, it's not much to ask, but I want you to think about this. If you show up once a week for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, let's say, and you're doing Q&A and you're training, you get 100 people in there, that's $1,900 a month coming in. And if you keep following the system, if you just keep getting 100 people a month, paying $19, let's say at the end of the year, you have 1,000 people in a program. Yeah, that's $19,000 a month. And can you get 1,000 people? You absolutely can. There are 8 billion people on the planet. You going across the globe. There are sure to be at least 1,000 people that you can actually support, but you have to do the other things first. You have to go out there. You have to share your knowledge so they know that they can trust you, so they know that they can get results. And again, if you create a community for $19 a month, anybody can afford that. So you'll be able to help a lot of people. So think about it. You can help 1,000 people. Can you support 1,000 people on your own, one-on-one? Absolutely not. But doing it this way, you can. And so it's huge. It's huge. So let's take a look at this. Now, so far, if you look at these, let's look at the numbers. What if you, out of those 1,000 emails that you got, people interested for a specific product, specific program, 100 people bought the $197 program, just 100 people out of the 1,000. And another 100 bought, let's say, the $19, a month program. So between the two, you have already served 200 people, and you have about, $40,000 there, right? Now, if you are doing what you're supposed to do, if you're supporting people, if they're getting results, then when you say, hey, I have an online program, and it's up to you whether you do a 6-week program, 8-week program, whatever the length, doesn't really matter. You get to choose, but it's $1,000. So out of those 200 people who are getting results from your fast track training or your membership program, at least 60 of them will say, yes, here's my $1,000. Now, if you didn't already catch it, there's another $59,000 coming from there. And this added up, it's $100,000. Now, if you keep it going and you do want to have different programs, then the next level would be higher, but we're not talking about that right now. What we are talking about is you just doing the trainings, the free trainings you're offering in exchange, the masterclass, and getting just 100 people to sign up for the membership for $19 a month. You over deliver. Another 100 people for the intensive. You over deliver. You are sure to get 60 people to want to stay with you and go move on to the next level because they are getting results. And so with this, I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to see about Cal. I'm sure he has a lot to offer to what we've already shared here. Cal, where are you? There you are.
I'm back. Wow. Wow. I am excited. Such a beautifully laid out system. I'm a systems person as well. I like to have a plan. I go back to my building days, sitting in my tool shed, got to get your little plan out and actually step through it, and everything comes together, and you have just laid it out beautifully for us. So I am going to ask a couple of questions here. So you actually talked about lead magnets. Now, some people will know what they are and some people won't. All right. And so what I love when you said that, you've got to make sure you give them your best value. That's, I think what a lot of us see in the lead magnet space is people give junk. They give
Yes.
they give you junk, and it really, if it's not good, people go, oh, this is rubbish, and it actually detracts. So can you give us a bit of an idea, maybe? Now, when we're talking about lead magnets and stuff like that, what are some of the things that really, like, what are the real value pieces that people are looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many ways to do it, though, Cal. Like, for example, what I like to do, I like to create the foundational piece, just like we're doing here. I shared fully the first pillar. Why? Because that's a foundational piece. When people just use that alone, they're going to get results. And so what is it that you do? What are people asking for? And it's really important to keep in mind the person that you are serving and what product you're creating, and take something from that product and teach one aspect of it fully. People give all kinds of different things, different books, different downloads, things they just have on their computer, but it doesn't really tell people what they will be experiencing within that program. So for me, that's really important. I want to give one tip here too. This is, a lot of people overlook this. When people are looking at your information, there are two kinds of people. The first, these are people who don't know, and they want to learn from you. So they don't know, they don't even know what to ask you. They just, they have to experience it, then ask for clarifying questions. So you have to make sure everything is laid out simply and with results in mind. But the second kind of people who are watching you, and this is crucial, these are people who do know how to do what you do, maybe in a little different way, who do know how it works. And they're looking to see if you know what you're talking about. They're looking to see if they can collaborate, or maybe if they can trust you to hire you to do that aspect of it. It's sort of like people who like to tinker with their cars. They know enough about cars to fix their own car, but they don't want to. But they'll go to a mechanic and they'll say, "Hey, what's wrong with my car?" And if the mechanic tells them what they already know to be true, they know the mechanic can be trusted. I know a lot of people do that. So it's the same sort of thing, because a lot of people know enough to be able to judge. So when you're putting out information, it must be valuable. It must be a really maybe a key component of your program. So that's what unlocks it. That's the way I do it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the other one was like a lot of people, you've said 1,000 emails, so I know from our discussions and everything, once you get 1,000, you can get your 100, you can get your 100 and get your 60. That's just the law of averages.
Yeah.
But I like the way you said your divine customer. A lot of people say your target market, your avatar, but there is that divine, that people that just absolutely resonate with you. And so that's what we've got to go for. And I know that, within the trainings and everything you do is about how do we really define that person and focus in. But I think the 1,000 emails is something I would like to actually speak into, if it's okay, just to take a minute or two.
Oh, please, I'm counting on it.
Yeah. Folks, getting 1,000 people, like some of you will have a database of tens of thousands. Great. Some of you will have a couple of hundred and you'll go on, gee whiz. So there's going to be people here listening in today going, I've only got a couple of hundred. How do I get to 1,000? So let me just say to you, getting to 1,000 is no problems. Using a system to actually get your divine customer, knowing the people you're after, happens. It happens with the right process. What I would actually suggest not to do is just go out there in your social media and accept anybody who sends a friend request. It's not about just getting more friends. It's about getting people into your CRM database who are the right people. So that's number one. So don't worry about it. There is a system to be able to get you there if you want to build. To those people who have got a big database, do you measure how often those people open your emails? Having 10,000 people on a database doesn't mean you've got 10,000 people who are watching or listening or reading what you're sending. You need to be able to monitor that to look for your 1,000. All right. So if you've got 2,000 or 3,000 that are opening emails, fantastic. But having a system to be able to monitor that is crucial. And there's no use sending an email if it's not being opened. So
it's spot on there. Yes. Sorry to interrupt you, but it was just like so spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to say that to your people, and I think what's going to be a massive improvement to anybody's business and a result that you can start to look for immediately in this is start to change your mindset. Get that divine customer. Who is that real person? That's a big takeaway for me already today. Because we just keep on building databases. And we don't really identify who those people are that just keep on wanting to come back, and that will give you your 100, your 60. So I'm just going to ask you, when you talk about the divine, that divine customer, that absolutely perfect person, what is it that will help people to understand that's my person?
Okay. So the divine customer, we know about the target market, and we know about the niche market, then we go to ideal customer and all that. The divine customer goes past that.
Mm.
The divine customer has in common the life experiences, your why, your reasoning, the things you like to do, so you can continue growing with them. Like, for example, one of the things that I love to do is travel. So my divine customers, they also want to be traveling, they want to go on retreats, they want to see different things, they want to meet different people. So we're looking at your interests, and this is where your natural gifts, your divine gifts come into play, and so a big part of it now, this is going to, a lot of people give a pushback with this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Okay, when you are choosing the message for your divine customer, it's really important to craft a message. If it's a woman, you want to make sure you have that clearly visualized. You know exactly who it is. The message that you craft for a woman is going to be a little bit different than a message for a man. Even if it's the same product for both, you need to craft two different messages, because there are certain things that men like to hear. There are certain words that men like to use. You want to be able to use that to connect with them, so they say, oh, she gets me, or he gets me. Same thing with a woman. Okay. And so being mindful, you can have more than one customer for the same product, but you need to focus on that. A better way to look at this, if you're sitting across somebody, you're not talking to two people, you're talking to one person. You're going to be sharing information that's relevant to them. And so you choosing who it is that you want to surround yourself with is really, really important. That's your divine customer. And creating content they're going to connect with. Um, even if a million people see your message, it's always a one-on-one conversation. There's one person sitting there watching the video, one person watching your Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever you may be. It's still a one-on-one conversation. So it's really important for you to choose. And I will tell you, some people have been surprised because, like, oh, I want to market to men. I'm like, go ahead, you can market to both. Well, why don't you just start with one and then see how you feel about extending? And it's much easier for you to build a tribe when you're focused on one message going out to one person. And again, it has a lot to do with the way that you are. For example, I usually talk fast. So if somebody wants, and I'm straight to the point, I say it like it is, like, come on, let's get it done. So if somebody just wants to be, oh, I just want to hang out, I don't want to do anything, they're going to get frustrated with me because I want to see results. I want to help people get results because it makes me feel good to see them get results, right? And so knowing how you are, knowing how you communicate is really important, and just being yourself. That's the easiest way for you to connect with the divine customer. Choose who it is and then speak to them.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and so many of us get worried about, oh, gee, this person wants that, that person wants this. Stay focused, stay true to yourself, true to your expertise. Don't get sidetracked. There's plenty of people out there. I love that when you said that before. There's billions of people on this planet. Can't you find 1,000? It's easy. It really is easy. So
Especially with your help.
yeah, yeah. So here's a tip. And so as we wind up today's tool time, a tip for you will be to get started, all right, to get you actually in the ball and to get you some things to have a think about. Think about your divine customer. Think about where they are at. In other words, where they are socially. Are they on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Twitter? Where are they? On their Instagram? And I would say to you, those 4 channels are going to be important for you to at least start to think about now. Okay. So get a LinkedIn profile going, get your Facebook profile, Instagram, and a Twitter account going. That's a good start for anybody, right? To be able to start to get some sort of social media happening. And then my next recommendation is is turn up. Turn up. Both Ann and I are going to be putting together a program for you. And so this, tool time is a perpetual thing. It's going to be out there for a long time. So I'm going to ask you to go to transformhub.com.au/podcast, and you then go to the tool time page. And in there, you'll see a link to our program that we're going to put together that's going to follow this exact same model, and it's going to show you how to do it for yourself. All right. So that is a very special offer that we're going to do. So, Andy, you want to maybe explain a little bit more about how that's going to work for people?
Well, actually, you said it. We're going to be doing exactly this. The way it will work, it will be a full day training. Okay. And we're going to do the $197 model because a lot of people, they just want the entire content. They want to have the blueprint, if you will. And so what will happen is I will be teaching the first three parts. You will know how to, let me go back to hold on. Yeah, well, I don't even need to go to the page. I already know what it is. So we'll be focusing on pillar number 1. You're going to be able to identify your divine customer, know exactly who it is. You're going to be able to craft your story, your TEDx style story, all of it based on your unique influencer code. So we will start with that. Who are you? What's special about you? And who it is that you really want to serve, and how do you choose a story? How do you share your why so it connects with them? So the next part will be, you'll be looking at your 4 pillars and 12 elements. You'll have a blueprint for that to create. And then you will be able to decide, looking at the 100K perpetual funnel, how you want to do it. Where do you want to start? Are you more inclined to do the $197? Are you more inclined to do the $19 a month membership? Both are good, but which one is best for you? You'll get to choose, because you'll be able to look at the pros and cons of each one. And of course, you'll be having your goal, exactly how much money you want to make and for what it is for. And that's actually going to help seal in the plan that you have put together. And the next part, Cal is going to take us home. Go over, tell us, Cal, how are we going to do the CRM system and all that?
Yeah. So the reality is, and so it'll piggyback the idea of that divine customer. So how do we actually, what are the tools that you need to help you find those people? There are tools out there. We've got the Productivity Hub, CRM has got some amazing parts in it. So I'm going to show you how to find your customers, how to find that divine customer, and then how to communicate to them. It's really important that, when you're communicating digitally, right, to be able to do it in a way that feels right. And so we're going to get into that marketing side of things, into the parts that need to be automated, and to those parts that in some respects you might need to actually have some personal contact. And then obviously how to deliver the product. All right. So what are the platforms? What are the things you need to have to be able to put that together? All fits within the same platform to be able to now market, collect your payments, do it seamlessly so it's actually really good. Plus, also, when we talked about building our lead magnets, how do I build that? What is it there? And so we'll be able to show you how to actually build things as well to be able to deliver it and automate it, and for you to get the lifestyle that Ann was talking about, that lifestyle, that goal of a lifestyle, to be able to complement what you want out of your life.
Beautiful. I'm super excited about this. Very, very excited. Yeah.
So am I. So, folks, that's it for Tool Time. As I said, go to transformhub.com.au/podcast. You'll be listening here on one of the podcast channels, whether it be Spotify or out there in Amazon land or whatever it might be. However you're listening to it, go to transformhub.com.au/podcasts. You'll see the Tool Time podcasts there. And in there, there'll be a link to go to both listen to this again. You'll be able to listen in there to Ann's hot seat about understanding her why, right? Really get to know her. You'll also see mine in there to get to know me a little bit better. Know that this is the right thing for you, and then click on the link there and you'll be able to come in and actually look at our fast track program. $197. All right, that is cheap for what you're about to get. It'll launch you into a potential $100,000 per year income, perpetual, as long as you want it to run. Sound good, Ann?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Super
I am looking
excited.
forward to seeing as many people as we can. We're going to target. We're going to do this thing. Buy the book, buy the numbers, buy the perpetual funnel system. All right, get 100 people in there. Would love you to be one of those 100. So, and it has been a pleasure having you here on Tool Time. Been absolutely a ripper, and I really look forward to getting out there and helping everybody else build their elements, build their system, for them to actually get this perpetual funnel of $100,000 a year.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and I'm honored to share what I have learned along the way. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Good. Take care, folks. Talk to you all soon. Well, that's a wrap for another Tool Time episode. How amazing was it to get the tools for you to get the job done? We look forward to seeing you again soon. Please make sure you like and share this episode with as many people as possible so they can unleash their productivity, get time and freedom back into their life. Until next time, go and unleash.